Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again. You know, most of my posts that I've presented to you have been about glorifying a power that we can't see, we can't touch, we can't feel. A power that I claim is responsible for all existence. Everything that we, with our senses, can identify. I call that the force whereby peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and dreams being fulfilled is where they reside. Needs being met for not just survival but imagination, just for creation, resides there. And that's the source. And to be connected to that source is through a spiritual thing, whereby we acknowledge no human being superior to a power we can't see. No human being superior to a power we can't see. Now, we get a little education about that when we're born. We come into this world and we are under the authority of those that feed us and take care of us, clean our behinds, give us baths, comb our hair, get the mucus out of our nose when we got a cold, love us, hug us, kiss us, dress us, make us look good. All through our upcoming, getting an introduction into what life is supposed to be about as our parents love us, give us tenderness. This is what we are being taught to give one another as adults. This is an expression of the power that we cannot see, that's teaching us in our early lives through our parents. Because we get to that point where our parents teaching us does not separate from us when we mature. When we mature, we stop depending upon the love of our parents. And we take what we have learned and start giving our love to humanity. That's what we do. Give our love to humanity. Now, I'm always telling you stuff like that about God. And while most of you will go to church and you'll talk about God and you'll say how wonderful God has been to you, most of you testify. If you say no more than God woke me up this morning, he's been so good to me. And I started asking the question, it's not how good God has been to you. Because even in your predicaments, even in your worst times, the fact that you can still breathe, many of you consider this a great blessing from God. But the key thing of it is, what have you done for God? Can God say about you the kinds of things that you say about God? Now, me, for instance, God kept me here on this earth. Several times I was supposed to have been dead. Dead, my brothers and sisters, my cousins, nephews, and friends. I am supposed to be dead several times. But each time it was a miracle. So, why am I still here? Why did God keep me still here? To say that God kept me here? Yeah, that's one thing. But is that all? God has got to use me for more than that. So what is it that God can use me for that is more than that? That is to allow that love that God showed me by saving me. Let that love, that same saving love, flow through me to you in the words of the truth that I speak to you, in the example that I hold before you, that you might see that on the path that we as American people are on, we as people of the world, all over the earth, we on a path totally to destruction. We're already like in hell. But we keep increasing the magnitude of that hell every day. We talk about in the book about brimstone and all of this burning and stuff like that. Well, I guess in some places we are already like that, where war goes on. But that hatred, that animosity towards one another, that lack of understanding, that absence of truth that would free you is held hostage somewhere. And so for a person who has been given life over and over again, it's for me to tell you, here in the United States of America, is this your end? We understand that when this nation was founded, you had no respect, no decency for people who weren't rich. You had no respect, no decency for anybody that wasn't white. And then if you really wanted some power, you had to be a male, a white man, a rich white man. What Donald Trump has been representing to America, which has put him above the law ever since he's been in the world. His father took care of him, just like parents do. They taught him what his father was taught. And apparently that's hate, because that's all Donald Trump shows is hate and have no compunction about it. So I'm thinking, you see it, ladies and gentlemen, it is hell before us at a time when we can all understand it. Maybe our babies don't understand it, but if we don't change, they will. And what would we like for them to know? We want them to know the kind of things that we have hoped for. Now, we realize that separating the races is not going to do anything, but the truth of the matter is that denying it won't either. Rewriting history, you find out that the stories that you have been told have been only partially true. The stories that you have been told have been only partially true. But here in America, black and white folks have always treated black people less than human. They've taught this. This is embedded in their system, in their being. Donald Trump hates us. He don't mind telling you. Joe Biden, he don't want to use the word hates us. He can put up with us. Put up with us, ladies and gentlemen. Trump can't stand us. Biden can put up with us. But who are we that subject ourselves to those who can't stand us, or to those who only put up with us? This is yesterday America. This is today's America. When states and white people feel that they can still take the law and change it to the degree that it can hold you as much in bondage as being broke held you to the cotton fields and all of Jim Crow. When they can actually take the law, and the government and the law will allow it to happen. Not only will the law allow it to happen, the people who will take you straight to hell and those who will put up with it, allowing you, and you having no recourse but to go to hell. Well, I have talked to people everywhere, and I haven't heard that conversation being spoken anywhere. I have heard, however, that if there ever is to be a race war, that white people will have the ability to murder. They got the power of the gun. But black people says that they got the power of commitment, that No one will benefit if there's to be a race war, because America will come down, and whoever hated enough to kill, knowing that America was going to come down, you can't say you've seen the Civil War. But when people are committed and say no more, then you're going to have to give up and do the right thing. Do the right thing. Everybody who can think knows that. And so I take you back to the Freedom Road. The Freedom Road, my friend. Is when every individual can look at you and say, that was a outstanding individual. He did all he or she could to make this a beautiful world by their participation. They never did anything to harm anyone. And they loved us all. And we love them. Now, what would cause people to say that? They have to feel that you were like a parent to them. You were like a mother or a father to them, regardless of your age. You cared about them. You didn't want them to be homeless. You didn't want them to be hungry. You didn't want them to be without education. And the thing that was so magnificent about it is that they saw the best, and they wanted the best for and out of everyone, so that we as a people could receive the best, because that's all we could give, is the best. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess I got to wrap this up. I'm probably going in circles, and for those of you who have been sticking with me as long as I've been talking, I want to say thank you. Bottom line is this. Personally, the God I serve have given you choice to go to heaven, created, or go to hell, created. Right now, we are in the act of creating hell. I propose that we change, and I've been telling the Democrats, I've been telling the independents, and I've been trying to get the message to whoever will listen, that let us change our path and let us go the way of the power. Let us create the best that any society can ever be. Let us create the best that any society can ever be. Not to say that we're better than any society, but to be a light so other societies can understand what it means to love. I'm not asking too much, am I? Think about it. Until next time, Eddie Marcus say goodbye.